Coming up on this week's edition of Bulldog Broadcast.
Reporter Xavier Dominguez opens our eyes up to the reality of homelessness in our nation directly affecting our community.
Then we get a deeper look into the recent push for teachers to be offered a larger pay salary.
Finally, we look at the uprising conflict between the possible extension that would be added next school year.
All this and more coming up on Bulldog Broadcast.
All around the world, chaos ensues, but it's up to you to make a change. And the best way to pursue this change is right here in Las Cruces.
Good morning, Bulldogs, and welcome to our first 2020 edition of Bulldog Broadcast. I'm Miranda Romero.
And I'm Matthew Falgathal. Our theme is Think Globally, Act Locally.
We are coming to you today from the Confucius Institute complex on the NMSU campus, which was established in August of 2007.
This complex prides itself on expanding the knowledge of the Chinese language and cultural characteristics into our community, including numerous efforts in outreach events.
As we are trying to expand our local understanding of the Chinese background, it would be an overstatement to say that everyone around the world is doing the same, which brings light to another global issue that is severely impacting our own hometown of Las Cruces.
According to the United States Interagency Council on Homelessness, as of January 2018, New Mexico had an estimated 2,551 experiencing homelessness.
Let's turn it over to reporter Xavier Dominguez to help us learn just how rapidly the homeless population is increasing all around us.
You may have driven on West Amador Avenue thinking nothing of it, but down the road lies the Community of Hope, where many go as a safe house for the homeless or call it home. Daryl Blair has been homeless for about 40 years and a regular at the site. He describes what worries him most.
And also where I sleep at. Every day I'm concerned if my gear is going to be there at night. Every day, at night. And the end of the month it's worse because I don't have the money to replace it all. I get broke.
Also, Gerald told me his mental health has brought setbacks to success. He said he doesn't see anything being done about it for many like him.
My psychological state, I'm afraid to go someplace, man. If they get scabies, I'm worried. I've got to wait because it takes a couple months for them to show up.
In a 2018 report from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, it showed that globally there is approximately more than 500,000 people homeless in the nation. However, in 2019, New Mexico had a 27% increase from the national average. Erin Boyd is a case manager at the Community of Hope. Every day she said she deals with many cases firsthand like Daryl's. With the increase of homelessness, she shares why there is such a problem.
Affordable housing. So the lack of affordable housing in our community, and that's where we end up seeing, the increase in homelessness because individuals can't afford to maintain as rent continues to increase, things like that.
However, it doesn't stop there. In 2018, 2,551 people reported they were homeless here in New Mexico. There have been struggles, but Boyd explains how the City of Cross has acted locally on this global issue.
I think we struggle sometimes because funding gets cut. We've seen it funding be cut for some of our veterans programs. But again, we see community individuals or organizations reach out to us and they'll say, listen, we want to do a fundraiser for you.
Homelessness has been increased throughout the years, not only in our state, but in the nation as well. So in order to reduce this number, we must act locally in any way to reduce this global issue. For Bulldog Broadcast, I'm Xavier Dominguez, reporting.
I had no clue that there are so many people that don't have a home and are facing life battles every day.
I would have to agree with that, Matthew.
It was recently published by Governor Grisham that our teachers are working at much too low of a pay.
Currently at a starting salary of around $43,000, many teachers are beyond eager to hear the result of this presented idea.
Let's send it over to Megan McGuire, who got a chance to talk to some of the people that are fighting for what they believe is the right paycheck.
Las Cruces High School is just one public school out of the many located in New Mexico. Along with numerous changes that are set to happen, there could be one that would impact teachers. New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham wants to give public school teachers a 6% pay increase. Kisa Dixon, who has been a teacher for 19 years, and many other things.
So I teach AP Psychology, I teach Introduction to Engineering, and I also run the GRADS program, which is the Pregnant and Parenting Teen program. I work with the night school program and my grad students there. I also work with the GEMS program. That's a Science as STEM program. So sometimes we have nighttime meetings. Oh, I forgot. I also teach Virtual Learning Academy online in Apex.
Sheds light on how this would help her and her family.
Contributing to daily expenses, daily needs. A lot of the times we're pouring our own money into the classroom when funds are not available. Especially when you have kids and things like that are in sports and activities and things like that. So any extra income that comes in is just helpful just to living.
And even though money is essential to life, Dixon says that teachers like herself should remember that income is not why they do this job.
There's a saying, I'm not in it for the income, I'm in it for the outcome. So
Luxembourg pays their teachers the highest compared to any other country. An average high school teacher there gets paid about $138,000. Here in New Mexico, teachers get paid around $56,000. But even compared to other U.S. states, this isn't a lot. New Mexico is considered a poor state. Our teachers can be harmed by this. When looking at the amount other teachers in other states are paid, it is understandable how New Mexico teachers can often feel overworked and underpaid. New York pays their teachers $76,000, the most out of any state in America. Alaskan teachers make $73,000. Teachers from Pennsylvania make $67,000. Teachers from Connecticut make $62,000. And those numbers are from salary.com. Some may not really understand what a 6% increase would look like. It would take teachers from about $56,000 to $59,000, which is a $3,000 increase. William Souls, a New Mexico senator and vice chair of the Senate Education Committee, further explains why this raise was brought and when it might come into effect.
Education is certainly important, and we know that teachers are the most important thing as far as in-school type of variables. And by raising teacher salaries, we keep good teachers here, we attract new people into the profession, and we recognize that over the years we've underfunded education. And so I think we're just working on trying to catch up and get their salaries back commensurate with what our expectations and hopes are. It would go into effect July 1st, and thus teachers would be getting it for the next school year. I suspect that they will be getting that, or see that increase on their first paychecks when they come back in August.
Like I said earlier, New Mexico is considered a poor state. So where is the state going to get this money from?
The budget of New Mexico comes from a variety of sources. We have lots of money right now. Lots of that is due to the increasing economics by the oil and gas industry down in southeast New Mexico, which is Hobbs, Carlsbad, Artesia area. Oil and gas funds about 35% or so of the New Mexico budget.
Along with being a senator, Souls is also a math teacher at Oñate High School. He explains how he personally feels about the raise.
I think they're very needed. I'm a retired teacher. I teach only quarter time because I get to be around students, so it doesn't affect me that much. But for our currently practicing teachers, we hope that it keeps some of them from leaving the profession. We hope that the teacher increases keep some from retiring, and that we hope that it increases the number of people going into education. Teachers are very valued, and we need to make sure that we pay them for their worth, their value, and their education.
Here at Las Cruces High School, many teachers will be waiting to hear more information about this 6% raise. For Bulldog Broadcast, I'm Megan McGuire.
For me personally, having a mom who is a teacher and seeing the amount of effort that goes into the job, I only can hope that this request does get accepted.
Well, Miranda, we are off to a great start, but I think we should take a quick break and we'll be right back, dogs.
Coming up after the break.
We hear the recent proposal of possibly extending next year's school year.
And lastly, we see what updates Jalissa has on our basketball teams.
Can you give me one word to describe how you want your 2020 to go?
I would want my 2020 to be exciting.
Productive.
Better than last year. Even though that's not one word.
Amazing.
Good.
Fun.
Welcome back, dogs. As school just started up, I know everyone is wondering what grades they ended up with in their classes for their first semester.
Lucky for you, Student View is officially back up to check your grades and to monitor your progress.
As the grade issue is being solved only a few weeks ago, another problem came to the table.
The LCPS Calendar Committee recently sat down and discussed and came to a few possible calendar options.
As of now, that is receiving the most attention is the extension of our 2020-2021 school year.
Let's check on Adelaide to hear the exact details of this change and how it would affect the students of LCPS.
Across the country, schools are restructuring their calendars to deal with a variety of issues. According to the National Conference of State Legislature, approximately 560 school districts in 25 states have one or more schools on a 4-day schedule, one of those states being New Mexico.
So we put out a proposed calendar for the 2021 school year that would extend learning by 10 days for students in grades 6 through 12 and would integrate the K-5 Plus program at elementary and integrate those 25 days into the instructional calendar.
When the proposal was announced, many community members had some concerns. I spoke with elementary school teacher Selena Martinez for more information.
In the beginning I was really for it, but then as questions came around and everything, I do see where I can understand parents' concerns, I can understand teachers' concerns.
Parents and teachers aren't the only ones with concerns. High school student Stephen Ewing spoke to us about his concerns and the proposed change.
I believe that an extended school year that goes into the summer significantly inhibits and prohibits kids from finding summer opportunities. I know last summer I worked at the NMSU Civil Engineering Department, and if the school year had been in effect last year, I wouldn't have had that opportunity that prepared me for college.
Some say that even with the extended learning time, students still won't see benefits.
Make education fun. You know, like you want to have kids show up to school at least, because if they're not enjoying it, it doesn't matter if they have 200 days or 100 days. They're still not going to show up if they don't want to show up.
PBS reports that in the nation's capital, nearly 1/3 of students missed at least 15 days in a single school year. Despite backlash, the district is staying positive.
They're looking at what's best for students, what's best for teachers, and also basically what's best for the community and the parents as well.
The district is seeking our input, so get involved and voice your opinions. For Bulldog Broadcast, I'm Adelaide Overding reporting.
Well, I have never considered an extension onto the school year, but I will definitely be keeping up to see what is decided.
That is one of the many things that is happening while it seems like the world is changing a million miles per hour.
One of the things that's slowing down is the LCHS lunch passes being put on delay.
They will not be distributed until the grades have officially been posted later this month, so please be patient if you are currently waiting on one.
As we are wrapping up, we have to take a minute to check up on our sports team, so let's send it over to Jalissa.
What's up, Bulldogs? I'm Jalissa Glass, and you're watching Bulldog Sports. Over the break, boys basketball competed in the Hoopla tournament where they came out in first place. They played Centennial on Tuesday where they won 63-43. Then this past Tuesday, they came out victorious against Oñate 62-57. The boys are currently 17-1 overall, 4-0 in district, and ranked second in state. Their next game will be today up in Alamo. Good luck, boys. Girls basketball played Centennial last Tuesday as well, where they lost 59-25, and then fell short to Oñate 51-46. The ladies are 6-12 overall and 1-3 in district. Their next game will be tonight against Alamo. Make sure you come out and support. Well, that's all I have for you this week, dogs. I'm Jalissa Glass, and this has been Bulldog Sports.
Keep up the great work, dogs, and make sure to go out and support at the upcoming games. But for now, that ends us off.
As Margaret Wheatley once said, there is no power for a change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. I'm Matthew Falkenthal.
And I'm Miranda Romero. Thanks for watching this week, dogs, and go out and try to do something locally that could change the whole world.